Good evening. Yes, we are back again. Another live stream. I'm just playing around. Nice attack sound. Yeah, I'm back again, and this time again on the Thursday. We had last Wednesday a live stream because of another thing going on the Thursday. So let me see. The video is good. I can see people saying video good. Keyboard is on screen. There's no latency or weird things with the graphics, which I sometimes have with the Logitech mouse. Maybe that's a little bit too much visible because last week I used the the core keyboard, the Prophecy keyboard, to show what you can do additionally by using the controllers, additional controls like the this ribbon controller, which it has a bar which you can use, and of course on here you can see on the left, if you look in the upper left corner, you can see on the complete control keyboard there's also a ribbon controller which you can use. So that was last week. Okay, I see some people are popping up in the chat room. And so, yeah, the last news, we had a very nice bank created by, who is very often also in our chat room, from Centorial DE. It's a German page. Let me show you. I will put in the link below where you can download his Blue 3 bank, which is for free. Here you can see the Blue 3 bank. He just played the sounds on the YouTube video. And there you can download. I just downloaded it ahead of the how you say it? Ahead of the live stream. I just downloaded it, so I only will hear them first now also, because I just ahead of the live stream I installed them. So if you download this bank, let's put this back. It's the homepage is centorial.de. There you can find it. And he also has a YouTube channel. So I'm placing that one back in the upper screen so that I can see the chat room. Okay, so if you download this, then it looks like this. It's in the bank is called 200 MCID. MACID, and then he also put some samples. So here are the presets, and then you see some samples he used. I did copy both to them. Where to copy? He does, oops, not now. Now you see here he says he copy bank to the documents. Of course, on the Apple it's applications for Papen.com, but I think most will know that. And I see he is in the chat room now. Hey, Centorial. Cool. Asset with an A. Okay. So this is the information inside the file you download. Prefixes are describing then what the type of sounds are. So we're gonna play them. So it's a free bank, and it's for me. I've only listened to the sounds on the YouTube video, so I did not have time to listen myself to them. I just ahead of the live stream I did copy them into my system. So for me, it's also the first time when I will play them. Excuse me. So so this is the. So let's go to Blue 3, and there they should arrive. So you go to the manager, I scroll down, and it's here the asset bank. So here default is one of the first ones, and R is of course the arpeggiator. These are. So the sounds is a little bit loud. I will put a little bit softer. There's no XY feature. I think it's not used in this preset. If I'm looking here at the XY, not yet. So these are little things I always encourage people to do, because if people play a preset and they move around the XY and nothing happens, that would be, of course, cooler. One trick to do this, I think, to make some presets. I have them in Predator 3, but not yet in the XY here. So here you have the commands, and there you have several. You can load an XY path, but there is also load all XY parameters. Then it loads in all the parameters. So the XI path is only the destinations. So if I'm not wrong, I have here one preset, which is the FM targets, depending on the FM. Okay, doesn't load it. But you could say then, make here, for instance, a setting for the filter cutoff frequency. And here, for instance, for the X movement, you could also have for instance, the resonance of the filter 1. So then you have a little bit of amount, and then always. Or you could address the filter 2. So this is so this is one of the presets from Centorial.de. Let me go to the manager and play some of them. It's a nice bass. So these are arpeggiator sounds, very nice. That's a cool one. If you put that one with this nice groove. Auf der Flucht, that is a very nice preset. Auf der Flucht, that's one already of my. Using the arpeggiator. So yeah, Centorial, you use more the modulation wheel. Yeah, there's always a possibility by adding the XY, because what we did, for instance, with the older Blue 2 presets, or I think the Blue 1 presets, we always looked at if something was going on. Because if you have the neutral state, your preset doesn't change. Because if I, for instance, would address now the XY, so I double click, for instance, it goes to the neutral position. If I go to the XY, and then say, okay, again, the filter frequency, and if you use maybe the, use 2 filters. So I also can use filter 1, and for the X movement, filter 2. Then you open this a little bit. So then you could also use the XY, and because it's a neutral state, if you double click, the sound is not altered. So you always can add destinations in the XY without changing the sounds. So very nice, cool presets. Oh, here's the XY used. Yeah, cool. And it's often very cool if you combine this with a sequence, then you have the more musical function of the sequencers. Then go next to the next preset. It's also a nice one. Okay, that's like. Nice sounds. Yeah, very nice sounds. This is Running Man. So the volumes are a little bit hot, I think, sometimes compared to the factory patches. So if I would check this bank, I would check on the XY and then on the volumes. That sometimes, because when people creating sounds, they not always have, for instance, the main fader left right fully open, and they work, for instance, with a different volume on the left right, or for instance, if they use Ableton has this built-in limiter, so even with Ableton, even if you go too loud with the volume, for some reason it changes that. So that's what I sometimes hear that people say, okay, I use the sound in Ableton, and then in Cubase it's totally different. Not totally different, but it has the volume are different. So there's this built-in limiter in Ableton, which if you go high in volume, which kicks in, which doesn't happen with, for instance, Cubase. Then you get more distortion if you go too loud. So what I check always is the volumes from the presets. If we share the presets on our homepage, I check the volumes. The tuning things are little things which need to be checked, because that always happens to me regularly, that you sometimes hit for instance, the semi of the oscillator, and then instead of having it on 0 or 12, that you have it on 10, and then you're working with the sound, you don't notice that the sound is essentially transposed. So these, yeah, and then we have some basses. Yeah. So then you see the volume is a little bit. This one could be a little bit louder. Nice bass. Yeah, nice basses. So it's me hearing the clicking. It's very velocity sensitive. This is not. Cool. Aye. That's a louder volume. And here's the XY used. So cool. Sound effects. These are some very cool sounds if you create music for games or more eerie sounds. This is gated. Well, you need to open the modulation wheel for this one. So there are a little bit difference in volume. So I'm adjusting that. Nice. So I'm using the modulation wheel on this one. This cool sound. So I think the echo pad. Yeah. Another organ with a detuned organ. Don't touch modulation wheel. Okay, I'll go a little bit down with the volume. Yeah, it gets dirty. Typical FM sound. Yeah, cool. Yeah, very useful sounds. What I mentioned, the only thing, what I would adjust is that the volume's a little bit more imbalanced compared to the factory patches, and check if the XY has an addressing. Synth sound. This is some very nice lead sounds. So I'm checking here. Maybe the volume can be a little bit louder now, because now it gets. Ring my bell. Okay, it doesn't find these samples, so I copied these samples in the right bank, but maybe that Centorial maybe can mention. I copied also this folder, so maybe it's I copied the whole folder inside the sample bank. So there was something missing, a sample, because that was popping up. So you see, if I go to this preset and go to it's missing a plasma sample. Lead sounds. The dirty bass at the end. Dirty leads. Yes, Centorial. Most likely the sample is on your system, so you don't notice it. But I did copy your sample folder, and then this pops up. Let me see. Hello Rob, because that one uses also. So that one finds the sample. So that one, so for instance, so what I guess is that you had the this preset made, and no accordions, said Scott Browns. No accordions, no. Pads. Oh, I mean the the 3 dots means that this next category will be pads. So Pat energetic. That's a cool one. Yeah, nice bed sound. So I'm simply playing the presets. For me, it's also the first time because I was so busy with all kind of things. But I just have the live stream that load the presets. Nice. Yeah, very nice. So the only thing, or what I mentioned, is that we together with Centorial will check the volumes and some things which I might notice, maybe tuning or the XY function. But the presets are very good, so it's only fine tuning, make it compatible with the other presets we have in Blue 3. That's also a nice one. Synthetica. Droneland. Yeah, what is cool is these sounds are different from what we have inside, and that's always cool. Now we get the plugs range with plugs. It's very poppy. Does bread. Yeah, that one is nice. It's a little bit aggressive, but that's nice. It could work well. Could work very nice. Techno kind. Very percussive. That's a nice one. Clonk. Yeah, that's already one of my favorites. Reminds me of this French singer. Has also cannot play this melody. Which used pitch modulation. Yeah, to make the percussion. And of course, then what I also would check then together with the English is set category. So you see, it doesn't have any category. This one would be then percussive, a plug. It's polyphonic. The XY most likely will be live mode, and then you need to apply. Then you have a tagging. So these are the little things which we would do to this bank, not to change the sounds, only this little changes. But this is already a very cool one. This clone. Very special sound. Just playing. Also nice one. Cool. Power plug. Modulation wheel is addressed. That's nice. Yeah, apply and save you need to do. Yeah. But don't worry, Centorial. So these are little things we always can add. So that's not a problem. So all these are the plugins. Now you get these sub basses in the category. That one is a little bit soft in volume, but some more organ sub. It's more, a bit like an acoustic bass. Yeah. Percussive. There's a nice one for very percussive. Yeah, cool. Tiefrausch. These are the samples which are inside. So I will answer the questions in the chat room very soon after I did the sound from Centorial from Acid. Oh, that is with the sound. Talk to me. Cool. Sequence sounds. Hey, I should show the sequence. No. Oh, it's using the retriggering of the envelopes. Synth sound. Böser Klang. That uses FM. So these are synth sounds. Keypad. Popcorn. It's not really popcorn, but it's a very ploppy sound. Nice synth sound. So these are the synth sounds. This one reminds me a little bit of the ESQ1 and Sonic synth from the past. Then we have Voxinator. Yeah, very cool sound, very different. That's absolutely what I like about them. And of course, for the ones who are later in this live stream, these sounds can be downloaded from the Centorial. So I'm going to show you now this this homepage, Centorial DE. He also has a YouTube channel with some very nice videos. Here you can see Sad But Blue, the Blue 3 soundbag by Acid and or Centorial DE. So here, if you then agree to this license agreement, then you can download them. Then once you unzip, you will see this, and then you need to, okay, you see this is the presets. You copy that one into the bank folder on your Mac or on the PC, and these you need to copy in the sample folder. So where to copy, you can see that. No. You see copy bank to the document for Papen Blue 3 bank folder. That's on the PC. On the Mac, it's applications, but most Mac users know that. And the samples is the same. It's the document for Papen Blue 3 sample. There you copy this folder into the sample folder. And on the Mac is applications. So, but definitely I will work out with Centorial that we have also the presets tagged. So now I need to see that I don't shut down YouTube, of course. So there you can find it, Centorial.de. Very cool. And now I need to place it back so that I can see the chat room again. Okay, here we are. Okay, so let's check the chat room. I throw open Blue 3 so that we have something on the screen. Double click. Yeah, SQ, that's a cool thing. Using the string feature in Blue 3, sure, that was essentially also an idea which I have, but first the question is from the X Launchpad, create a sound from one raw Papen to another. No, they all are different in structure. So they are totally different beasts, and you cannot exchange the sounds. That's not possible. What you can do, of course, in Blue 3, you still can convert a Blue 2 bank. That's possible. So that's possible if you have your own Blue 2 preset. You can convert the bank or the preset into Blue 3. That's, of course, within the synthesizer. That's possible. Also with Predator, you can load in or convert Predator 1 preset into Predator 3 or Predator 2. Yeah. Centorial, you make a lot of people happy with your bank, so cheers up. So, okay, then we got another question about DJH Productions. I have been playing around with subboom bass. Come to something strange when I change a note in Cubase, it stops playing or it gives a different pitch. What I'm doing wrong? I think something in the note. Did you open the editor in Cubase? Or maybe if you have the preset, mention the preset, what it is. The preset what in which this happens. So in Cubase, there's one thing, it always looks ahead. So if you start half on a preset or on a note, let me see if I can show you this. Oh, that way you don't. That's another sound. Let me see where I can show that. No. Okay. Now let's see here with Punch. With the sequencer in general, that's one thing in Cubase which I need to put off in this version, because this is version 12. I still need to put that off. If you see Punch 2, you can hit a note and trigger a whole sequence. So what I did, for instance, here, you can see that this note starts here at the very start of the bar, and it plays for 2 bars. So it starts at bar 3, goes up to bar 5. Doesn't hit the end, but this is where you, for instance, can loop one thing. And what is playing here is this. So it's the... Now, what happens if you, for instance, start here with your start, then Cubase catches still up on, so it still does play this sequence, but there's always a kind of timing thing. And there is something in the preferences where you can stop this pre-rolling, because now if I start on this one, you will notice that this sequence is out of is not syncing well. You see, it's not okay. No, it picks up. So that's the pre-note thing. That so if you play a note, for instance, Cubase still plays this note, although you start in the middle of this note. So, and that's a setting, but I forgot where this is. Most likely in preferences. MIDI, audio. I need to find this. It was somewhere, and that's what is happening if you use a sequencer. That with in case of Punch 2, or for instance any other arpeggiator, that if you start in the middle of this note, essentially it should not play because you don't miss the start, but then Cubase still plays it and then it's out of sync. So I'm checking here. So about this preset, let me know the presets DJTH Productions in the chat room, which causes this in Cubase. And then we have Barking Fish Tunes about the model. Okay, it's made in the editor. It's from something I made from scratch. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to predict what is going on then with your sub-boom bass sound. It's if you could erase all the other tracks around it, you could send me the song in an email, and I could log into it and load it in Cubase and see what is going on. So only leave this track with only sub-boom bass, and then I could check it out. So about this string model, yeah, that's a good question. Let's go to Blue 3. Yep. Here it comes again. So now go back to the simply introduction or Rob personal. Maybe here's a default. And if you use string, for instance, I can say, and that's a cool thing, you could even modulate the string, but I'm not sure if that's gonna sound well. So I take oscillator 2 and I select here the string model. And what you notice is right away, the string model will open here, the page. And then of course I need to select oscillator 2. And then you have all the features. Now it's default. Open the damp. Now then you can change, this is changing a little bit the sound. So velocity to the plug, velocity to damping. Impulse volume. Wait, that's too loud. So this is how you tweak the sound, and you see some of the parameters like length and damping is also here. So damping is more like a filter type of thing going on, and here you can use the velocity to change the. I bring the velocity down from this one. So typical sound. So let's see if we do some FM modulation. So I go to the algorithm and then make that oscillator 1 modulates oscillator 2. So this one. Let's see what happens. Huh. Doesn't like it. Get some weird sounds. Frequency modulation. Let's see if the envelope makes a little bit. Makes it very dirty. And a little bit of overtone. Ay. So that's not really working out, I think. Let's see if we have some other ideas. Feedback. Doesn't do. You can use it, but it's not that interesting. Okay, so let's see if we have another trick. We could maybe phase distortion. We have here the shape phase distortion. Then you need to open this and then go to the phase distortion. I'm not sure. Yeah, that works also, but doesn't work really well on the string model, these kind of modulations. So best to keep it clean and to have a kind of additional thing. So what I would do then, for instance, I would go to a preset which I like. For instance, in the R bank, that is how I would work. So this is a very often used one. So FM, arpeggiator. So maybe here is the string model. That's nice. It's more like pulling strings. And what I will do then is maybe if I shut down, now we only hear the string model. And then maybe I put it to a filter, destination filter 1. Maybe a high pass filter on it to give the low end a gone, to remove the low end. Let's see. So make it much thinner now, but then maybe it combines nicer. Yeah, it's already better. Well, let's see if we can put a LFO modulation, free LFO1. Let's see if we can change the pitch of the oscillator. That would be interestingly fine. Because the LFO needs to be on, free LFO1. Yeah, now you hear the little modulation. So this is adding, just using a current preset, and then it really adds a by a low end is possible, or maybe a notch filter. That is also sometimes interesting, a notch filter. Let me see if we add a notch filter type 2. Yeah, and then you could change, of course, the up edge rate. There's a lot of yeah, it's a nice sound. Let's see what the FX does. A little bit of chorus, let's see. Mix the delay. So that's a nice variation. So I'm gonna save this one. So what I do is then save preset in folder. So I go to my own personal folder, Rob personal, okay, and then yeah, it's not again the the synth that is gone. It's more a string mower sunset. Save. Okay, and then what I do in the manager, set category, percussive. So what I can do is now, let's see what the XY, I could use the XY a little bit more. It uses now the oscillators, but I could use I think that one changes a little bit the sound, but I could use the modulation wheel also for changing the tuning of this oscillator 4. I think that would be an interesting idea. Modulation wheel. But it should also be possible with drag and drop, by the way. What I said, so I grab the semi and drag it down. You see, that's drag drop. Only if you are in this section, that's a bit tricky. So drag and drop also works this way. But of course, I need to select the modulation wheel. So let's see what happens if I put that one octave up. Yeah, that's cool. So I save this preset. Should I make it downloadable for you guys? Let me know in the chat room, because then you can already use it if you like this one. Yeah, drag and drop. We had a question on another YouTube video. Drag and drop is also in, for instance, Predator 3. The only thing if you have the modulation matrix open and you change, for instance, here the frequency, and then you go down too much, then it drops it here as drag and drop. You see, there it pops up. So that's done. These parameters here above the modulation matrix we should exclude from having drag and drop. But you can, yeah, simply grab a parameter, click on it, hold it, and then simply drop it down here. Then you have it as destination. And that's the same with Predator 3. And so, of course, this one should be removed. But you can see here, because I have modulation wheel, does modulate oscillator for semi. If I go to the semi and use the right mouse menu, it will pop up here. Set modulation can do, let me see. Info. There's an info about what you can do. Modulated by. Oh, it doesn't pop up here, the modulation wheel. But here you also can set the modulation matrix to a given setting. So in the right menu, there are a lot of additional features. So the info is about what you can do. Left click, value, so all kind of hidden things. I'm not sure if the drag and drop works with the XY. That's of course not possible because the XY is a very big one here. That's how you address the XY to all the parameters. So that's drag and drop is not essentially not possible. Maybe if I do this, let's see. No, that doesn't work, of course. But so if I would go to Predator 3, where is it? Spooky sound. Here it is also possible. So cut a frequency, drag it down. Here it is. Yep, drag it down. But I think these are excluded because otherwise if you turn this down too much, then it drops here. So the filter envelope is excluded from drag and drop, but all the other parameters you can drag and drop. So, okay, why it doesn't do it? Oh, it's only the filter. Why is not the other one popping up? That's strange. Oh, here it takes, but doesn't take the oscillator. Oh, it's not active. Sorry, mix. Here it goes. So I had this one was not activated because this one only works if you have the mixing or the morphing inside these oscillators. So that's why drag and drop did not work. But if you go to advanced, so for instance, symmetry, drag down, and here you have drag and drop. But you have to have the modulation matrix open, of course. And let's see if the XY also does drag and drop. Yeah, XY as well. See it here? I can change. Yeah. So you need to be in the modulation matrix or the XY to have drag drop for the modulation. Okay. Yeah, well, guys, this was again another live stream, and we did a little bit tweaking with the Predator 3 thing. I will link the homepage for the Centorial bank in the info section. Yeah, next week we have another live stream Thursday. If you maybe have an idea for this, just let me know. Or any community, you can. I think you also can post inside the community tab. I think that should be possible. And of course, I will link the Centorial bank so that you can download the Blue 3 banks from Centorial. So, yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope to see you back again next week. And enjoy creating music. Bye-bye.